best portable jump starter, or you're thinking about buying a Noco model, stop. I want to show you guys why I threw my Noco model in the trash and who I believe has the best portable jump starter in the game. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, my name's Mason. I'm a senior master tech with Ford, and pretty much what we do here is anything and everything automotive. So if you're driving a car and you're not taking the subway, I'd highly recommend hitting that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on any of this content. Also, some of you watching this, I'd love to hear from some of you guys down in the comments on some things you'd like to see me review or talk about. Anything from tools to scanners to my toolbox to more jump boxes, just anything that you can think of that you'd like to see me review. Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from some of you guys. So I've had my Noco GB50 for a couple years now. I actually made a video on it a while back if you want to go check that out. Overall, it's been really reliable. It has not failed me very many times, but I had this company called Hulkman reach out to me asking me if I wanted to do a comparison video between their Hultman 85 and the Noco GB40, which come in at the same price point. They're a little different, but they come into that $99.99 range on Amazon. You can find links to all these jump boxes down in the description. So the GB40 that they wanted me to compare was it's one step under my GB50. 1500 amp for the GB50 and 1000 amp for the GB40. So I got a GB40 here today that I've been comparing in between these two, and honestly from the get-go I really didn't expect much out of this Hultman 85. You know, Noco is kind of like the iPhone of the jump starter world. You know, they have the best name brand for jump boxes, especially in the retail world. So I really wasn't expecting much, but to my surprise, this Hultman 85 beats both the Noco GB40, which is the same price, and the Noco GB50, which is $50 more, in every way I could think of. I cannot find a way that these come out on top. First off, if you've watched any of my past videos, you know that I usually don't do any kind of unboxing or taking stuff out of boxes, because I know that's probably not what you guys want to see. But with this one, I really just couldn't resist. It's almost like if you've ever gotten a new iPhone, you know that feeling whenever you slide that box apart and lo and behold, there's this brand new, wonderful looking iPhone sitting there. It was kind of the same experience with this Hultman 85. When I pulled it out of the box, man, it was just so well packaged that I was like, wow, this thing really, really looks good. So the first thing that I noticed when I took the box off is how sleek the finish only was. Each side's flat. It doesn't have like flaps covering up the two ports where you plug in and out of the thing at. They're real sleek, and the front of it is super sleek. It's so sleek and hard to see that you actually cannot even tell that the LCD screen is powering on, or you can't even tell the LCD screen is there until you power this thing on. So unboxing it, first thing that comes to my mind is if the thing works as good as it looks, then this is going to be the best jump box I've ever found. But enough about how it looks. Looks is only one thing. We really just want this thing to work. We want this thing to get us out of a jam. So I have tested this thing. I've jumped off several vehicles over the past few weeks that I've had it. I've jumped off hundreds of vehicles with a Noco. This thing has yet to fail me. It's jumped off everything I've tried to jump off with it, including diesel trucks that were almost completely dead, to gas trucks that when you turn the key on, they would not even power. The cluster, nothing would even power up. They were so dead. This thing takes care of it. Boom, 2 seconds and you're started. So I figured the easiest way for me to tell you guys about all the great things about this jump box was to just break them up in a pros and cons list, and at the same time comparing some of the pros and the cons to the Noco GB40. So the first one being a really big one, this thing comes in at 2000 peak amp current, which means that that's how much basically how much juice it has to jump off a car. The more amps you have, the bigger of an engine that you can jump start with the jump box. The Noco GB40 comes in at half that with 1000, which is a huge deal. If you tried to jump off a diesel truck, which has a lot of compression and takes a lot of juice to crank it, this thing would crank it way faster and way easier than the Noco would. So that's a huge thing, especially for you guys that have diesel trucks, because those things can be really hard to get started after the batteries die. So the second thing plays into the same topic. This Hultman 85 can jump off up to an 8.5 liter gas or a 6.0 liter diesel. We really don't even see gas gasoline engines that big anymore. Most of the time nowadays they're getting smaller instead of bigger. But if you have that old 70s model Lincoln that has a big block motor in it and you need to jump it off, this thing can do it. 6-liter diesel, it isn't quite big enough for some of you guys that have the 6.7s and the 6.6 Duramaxes and those. I still think it would jump them off. Maybe not if the truck's completely dead, but up to a 6-liter diesel, I think you might could even push it a little bit past that. On the other hand, this Noco GB40 can jump off up to a 6-liter gas. So you're getting diesel to gas, which has a huge compression difference. You're getting the same amount of liters on the gas side as you are on the diesel with this, which is crazy. The diesel capacity of this is 3 liters, which you're not going to find in hardly anything unless you're into the really small diesel trucks. So those are the capacities that these companies put out. Both jump boxes could probably be pushed past their limits. They would probably jump off more, but that is what both companies claim that they can jump off. So the third thing I really like about this Hultman 85 that the Noco does not offer is fast charging. It comes with a big block and a cord already in that block to charge this thing. You can charge it from completely dead up to 50% battery in 35 minutes. And another huge thing that I learned whenever I was reading about this is that Hulkman actually claims that if you charge this thing to 100% and put it in your car, it can go 18 months without being recharged and still be usable. So you can leave it in your car for 12 months. It's a whole year. It's never been plugged up to a charger. It's just been off. And you can still plug this thing up to your car and it should jump it off after 12 months of not being recharged. That's crazy. I don't believe the Noco would do this. I haven't tried it because it gets used so often, but that is a really big thing on storage life there of that Hultman 85 jump box. So down here in the deep south, we don't really have this problem, but for you guys up north, maybe in Canada, up Minnesota way, that it gets extremely cold, this jump box actually is capable of being used in negative 40-degree Fahrenheit weather. If it's below negative 40, I hope you're not outside trying to crank your car and go anywhere, but this thing probably will do it at negative 40. That's what it says. So one thing I did notice about using this jump box that I really like is they have a user manual that comes with it, but they have a simplified how to use instruction sheet on the back that tells you each thing you need to do, each problem you could occur. It really describes everything out well and tells you how to use it. If you're having trouble getting it to work, flip it to the back, read the instruction sheet, and I don't see how you could mess that up. You kind of just read and do what it says. It's really easy to use. So another huge thing for me about this jump box that you don't get with Noco is they send you the 12-volt car adapter so that you can plug cigarette lighter chargers into this thing. You can plug them right into this jump box. You do not get that adapter with the Noco. This did come with it, so I really like that. That is really useful if you have an old cigarette lighter plug. You can always charge your phone out of this jump box as long as you have that adapter. So let's get into some cons about this thing. It was actually really hard for me to come up with some cons. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, but this thing really challenged me to find some things I didn't like about it. The main thing that I do not like about this jump box, or I say I do not like it, I haven't really used it enough to get used to it and understand how it works, but from what I've seen with it, it has some safety modes on it, which is a good thing and it can be a bad thing. The big safety mode that I did not like is the fact that it will time itself out for 10 minutes. If you have a newer vehicle that has an automatic start, say you have a push button or you have a key that you don't have to hold it. So you roll it over or you push the button and then you can let go of it and it will crank for 10 seconds. Even if the car, something's wrong with it and it's not cranking, it will crank for 10 seconds. Well, apparently that's bad for jump boxes. I could see how, you wouldn't want to just drain the thing from 100 to 0, just cranking and cranking and cranking. So they put a safety mode in this thing, which is kind of a good and a bad thing. The safety mode actually disables the jump box for 10 minutes, which I don't like at all, because if you accidentally hit that safety mode, that fail-safe mode, you're not going to be able to use the jump box for 10 minutes. On the other hand, though, it is a good thing because you're not going to damage the jump box because it has that capability to cut itself off and let itself cool down and not overheat and tear up. So one more thing I am going to mention about safety modes is if your car is dead like dead.
Or is dead, like dead.
Like less than 1.5 volts in the battery, and you plug this thing up, it's not going to automatically say ready and ready to go because it can't sense that you're hooked up to a battery. This thing has a mode in it to where it will not allow the circuits to become connected and actually give you any juice unless it senses that you're plugged up to something. So if your battery's too dead for this thing to sense it, what you actually have to do, if you see here, I'm gonna turn it on, and right now it does not say ready. Imagine we're hooked up to a car that's so dead that it cannot tell it's hooked up. What you do is, it says this on the back, but you hold both of these buttons. There's only 2 buttons on the whole thing. You hold both of these buttons for, I think, 2 or 3 seconds. Now you can see popped up, ready. This thing's ready to go. So the last con, or really the only con that I can come up with on this thing, if you watched any of my other videos, you know that I hate this about portable jump starters. I'm not blaming it on them because everybody does this. I hate multiple modes for lights. I do not like to have 5 or 6 different modes. For a flashlight, I feel like on and off is perfectly fine. This thing has 5 different modes, and it actually has one extra that you don't see on the Noco, which is the red flashing light, which is kind of cool, but you're never going to use it. You don't need it. You're never going to use it. So I don't understand why they put it in there, but it's not really a big deal. But you know, like I said, it was really hard for me to come up with some cons about this jump box. So to conclude up this video, to bring everything to a head, which one should you buy, the Noco or the Hultman 85? If it wasn't clear already by me throwing my Noco GB50 in the garbage, which I may have went and got it out afterwards, but you get the point. Hultman 85 all day long. I wish I would have bought this a couple years ago instead of the GB50 because I overpaid. You know, I paid an extra $50 for the Noco GB50 when I could have got this one for $100, and it works even better than that one does. I would definitely recommend buying this Hultman 85. Links are in the description if you want to go check them out. Read some more about them, maybe that I wasn't able to get in this video, but that's pretty much going to bring this comparison video up to a head. So if you enjoyed the video today, make sure you go down there and hit that like button. It really helps me out when I see you guys liking these videos. It at least tells me that I'm doing something right. Make sure you're subscribed, ring that bell, and if you haven't already, went and left me a comment of something that you would like to see me review, go do it now. I'd love to hear from some of you guys. I really appreciate y'all watching, and that's going to be it for this one. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.